Hello Tower Guy friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another work mode workout, and today was max effort lower day. Quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please click like down below, help me keep the likes higher than the dislikes. We need to get into the meat and potatoes. It's going to be a shorter workout. Quite strong today on squatting. My quads were so trashed from doing this, and I need to discuss that I almost couldn't do anything else. And the strength was actually there. I decided to go ahead, and because I realized this could be a problem looking at some biomechanics, that because of the range of motion difference when I back squat versus with the box squat, and we've covered in detail why that is in the past, hopefully you guys understand, we get a deeper knee angle. But the posterior chain development we get makes us actually stronger. So we get actually stronger, so we should be able to back squat more than we box squat, which I demonstrated here. Now people are going to say that one was a little high. It was, because I'm not used to back squatting again. I have not done back squats in like 9 months. And I've never back squatted with this bar. So it took me that rep to kind of get in my groove, and I went ahead and went up to, for me this is a training max, I went up to my all-out best max on the box with this bar, which was 535, and I hit a relatively easy training max, meaning it moved fast. It didn't feel that heavy. I could have gone up 15 to 20 pounds. I feels realistic looking at the bar speed. Pretty obvious that I could have. For those who said, oh, you didn't hit depth, you guys can look at the thumbnail. You've seen my box squats from the side and the front at different angles. You can look at the front of my thigh sitting on the same box and realize I'm at depth. Okay, I don't need to go through all that again. You can look at the recent box squat video I did and determine that. But that trashed my quads. My quads were not used to that deep angle. The strength was there, but my posterior chain is so much stronger than my quads now, and my quads are not used to that extra few degrees of knee bend. They almost got overly stretched to the point to where they were cramping, and they're still cramping right now. When I went to do pulls, my quads were giving out on deadlifts. And I know that sounds ridiculous because guys are like, we've seen you deadlift more than this, and your quads are massive, but it was the matter of the sheer fatigue. I felt like that was all I could do today. And I know that's 515 plus 77 pounds of chains. Like we know I'm stronger than that. I've recently displayed stronger than that. But I've realized I need to go ahead and start doing, I'm going to start back squatting with my different bars. I'm going to run some phases of it. Get the quad range of motion built up. My quads will probably grow and get even stronger still, but the beauty of this is that when you're doing the box work, the posterior chain and all the posterior chain strength I have can carry me through everything. Like I didn't feel any hip or glute problems at all doing any of this. I felt nothing but quads. Okay, and it's because they're being stretched deeper than they're used to. So we need to work on that a little bit. So I did those. That's 455. I did a quick 3x3. It actually wasn't hard at all. It felt light, except in my quads. And again, the quads didn't feel like, oh, we just can't handle the weight. It's the stretch. They're being subjected to a deeper range of motion than they're used to. But I have a feeling they're going to explode from doing this. They're going to explode. And the other thing that I ran into is, of course, that I am struggling to deadlift fatigued. I am noticing it's really hard after squatting to deadlift. Well, I've got to resolve that. So we've got to do a lot more pulling. I'm going to do a lot more heavy pulling, obviously, like I've been doing. We're going to be doing max squatting first and then heavy pulls pretty dang often, so that we always hit a max squat on the lower body day, and we get some specificity for comp later that way. But I'm probably not going to use a normal bar for a bit. I'm going to rotate through these different specialty bars so that I can bench specialize and hit my chest and shoulders harder without fatiguing them from a straight bar. And we'll just get strong at all these different bars. We'll do back squats with them. My quads will probably grow a lot more, but I am at this point, I feel like I'm posterior chain stronger versus my quads now. And that makes sense. Look at how strong I am on posterior chain exercises. I just blast through stuff at way higher strength on some of the hamstring and glute movements than my squat and deadlift would indicate. Okay? And even when I notice the squats, it's like, okay, posterior chain doesn't limit my squats in any way at all. None of it. We could argue how much is quad and how much is upper back. So let's just hit both. But the quads will be hit by the squatting, meaning I'm not going to go do extra specialized work. I just need to squat more, right? Which we're doing. The sled drags will help too. Probably help them recover more than anything, because they actually hurt right now. They actually hurt. So even these, I'm like, well, let me just do some moderately heavy singles. Let me throw 515 on and see if I can pull some singles. These were hard, especially after doing the extra squats just in that 3x3. My quads were cramping after each set. I had to run over and kind of dig my massager in. I need to review the massager. I actually got sent a relatively high-end massager for free just to review. The company has no obligation. I give them a good review, bad review, whatever I want. They don't care as long as I review it later. So they sent me one for free. It works great, but I had to dig it into those quads. And I'm going to have to do that probably a good chunk of the day. So again, my quads will be recovered enough to squat, and I'll probably use the safety bar next time. I'll probably rotate the safety bar, the cambered bar, and then maybe occasionally work in that buffalo bar again, and just get the squats up. But I couldn't even pull that. And people were like, "Really, what gave out?" And no, my quads cramped, and I could have just not even put that in the thing, but I'm like, I attempted it, and I couldn't pull. My quads cramped up. So I'm like, let me go ahead and do my reverse hypers, my high rep reverse hypers. And I did just 4 sets of 25 with 500 pounds. Again, it kind of goes back to the point of, look at the posterior chain movements. Okay, no issues here, just in general. And I'm doing these kind of the way Clint Darden shows in the range of motion he recommends with the mat that he gives. And even according to what he recommends, my deadlift, as far as my low back and glute strength go, my deadlift is way higher than what the rest of my body can lift. So we're not worried there, but you know, kind of comes to the point of, I've got a strong low back, I've got strong glutes, I need to keep them. So I'm going to continue to do this work, but again, the quads have got to come up, the upper back has to come up. My lats are really limiting, I feel like, my deadlift right now, and I've discussed that in the upper body days because we're addressing it there. So, you know, again, it's all got to be done. And some of that, if people are like, well, why is your deadlift regressed a little bit? Well, it's because my lats have regressed a little bit, my lat strength, you know. So it comes down to that point of, why do you miss this lift or that lift, or which holding you back? Well, I've got a weak muscle, right? And the only way to get it back is to train it. But my lats, they're getting decently strong again. It's going to take them a bit to get back where they were. I think it'll happen reasonably quickly. But in the meantime, you know, again, I do want to keep my reverse hyper in here. I need to make sure my low back stays strong and healthy, the glutes, everything else. But we need more quad, we need more upper back, we need more middle back, all those things. And we already know what we need to work on for benching. My training's a little bit more geared towards bench specialization at the moment. Because again, I need that to come up. It is my weakest lift. The deadlift will catch back up. I've just got to do more heavy pulling and bring up the weak links on it. And I've got to get used to pulling heavy after squatting again, because that's definitely a factor. That absolutely limited me today big time. And, you know, again, people will say, well, is that an excuse? No, it's not an excuse. It's an explanation. That is where I'm weak at. Okay? There's a difference. An excuse would be, well, I was tired, I was dehydrated. No. My quad range of motion is a little weak at that one joint angle. They got crampy. It carried over to my other lifts, and I need to get that area stronger. I need to build that ability to pull heavy after squatting. Okay? These are areas that need to be fixed. They need to be worked on to kind of get up to that next level. Got to get up to that next level, guys. But overall, happy with the squatting. Again, some aspects of the day went unhappy with it, but I was happy with the squatting because that 535 was not a max. So I'm going to PR the hell out of it within the next week or two. We're going to hit some hopefully pretty big squats. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.